Hello and welcome. If you are here, I know you are grappling with the most ancient question of the heart, that question which has compelled poets to compose their most exquisite verses and musicians to craft their most poignant melodies. Is this the right person? We have been taught a narrative, a fairy tale, if you will. According to this story, when the right person arrives, life suddenly becomes effortless. The sun shines brighter, birds sing more melodiously, and all the pieces of the puzzle magically fall into place. We are whispered promises that we will never argue with them, that they will always understand us, that they will complete our missing half. And armed with this fantastical map, we search relentlessly in the outside world for this flawless entity. But what if I told you that this map is fundamentally flawed? What if I told you that the true signs your soul seeks do not appear in this comfortable, tranquil harbor, but quite the opposite? They emerge in the most tempestuous of seas. Today, we will set aside those rose-tinted glasses and look at the deep, unsettling, and transformative truth behind the soulmate myth. And on this journey, our compass will be Carl Gustav Jung, the intrepid explorer of the human psyche. For Jung reminds us that love is not merely a comfort zone, but a profound arena for growth. Superficial answers cannot quell the deep yearning of the soul, because that yearning is not a desire to be lost in another. It is a yearning to find oneself, to complete oneself in the mirror of another. And this process, contrary to popular belief, is not a gentle embrace, but often a fiery, sacred art of sculpting, where two souls collide, chiseling away each other's sharpest edges. To unlock the secret of this art, we will utilize Jung's magical terms: anima and animus projection, confrontation with the shadow, and finally, the ultimate goal of every soul, the journey of individuation. Anima and animus represent the archetypal, unconscious image of the opposite gender that each of us carries within. For a man, that divine feminine within is the anima. For a woman, that divine masculine is the animus. When we fall in love, we essentially project this inner image onto the person before us, like a projector. This is the secret of that love at first sight, that intoxicating magic that sweeps us off our feet. But this is merely the beginning of the story. The true satsu begins when the projections start to fade, and two real people are left facing each other with all their imperfections and shadows. The right person is the one with whom you can transcend this projection, confront your own shadow, and thereby advance on your journey of individuation, of becoming a complete and whole human being. So, let's begin with the first and perhaps most counterintuitive sign that life sends you. This sign challenges everything you've been taught to look for. Sign 1, the sacred discomfort. Now, let us examine how life signals this person to you, looking beyond the fairy tales to the real and profoundly impactful signs. The first and most deceptively powerful sign life sends is the feeling of a sacred discomfort. Contrary to popular belief, the right person does not always coddle and comfort you. Yes, there is often a sense of coming home in their presence, a deep familiarity. This is the familiar whisper of the anima or animus projection. But right alongside this feeling, and sometimes even more powerfully, emerges a sense of discomfort, a stirring. This person crashes into the walls you have meticulously built for years. They challenge all your rigid definitions of "this is who I am." They shatter your comfort zone, that safe, small garden you have cultivated. Much like a Zen master might unexpectedly strike a student with a stick to awaken enlightenment, they deliver a resonant blow to your soul. This is not a toxic discomfort. This is not criticism that diminishes you or makes you feel unworthy. No, this is a tremor that invites you to grow, an awakening that stirs your dormant potentials. After encountering them, you can no longer continue your life in the same manner. They awaken the poet, the artist, the traveler, or that rebellious spirit you have suppressed for years. Meeting this person is like a stone cast onto the surface of a calm lake. The reflections on the surface are disturbed, but at the same time, forgotten treasures at the bottom of the water are stirred. If that special person in your life brings you not only peace, but also a sweet unease, if their presence compels you to ask questions you have never dared to ask, to take steps you have never dared to take, know that this is one of the most powerful signs your soul is sending you. They have come not to lull you into slumber, but to awaken you. If this awakening is the first sign, the second goes even deeper into the parts of yourself you've hidden from the world. This is where the most profound healing can begin. Sign 2, a safe haven for your shadow. The second and most profound sign is the safe haven for your shadow. In the fairy tale we are taught, the right person sees and falls in love only with our best, brightest, most beautiful self. This is the greatest desire of the ego, but it is not the truth of the soul. The most certain sign that life sends is this: that person is the first with whom your darkest, most shameful, most primal self, your shadow, feels safe enough to emerge. Within all of us resides a monster that society disapproves of, one we are even afraid to admit to ourselves. This could be our uncontrolled rage, our gnawing jealousy, our deep sense of inadequacy, or our selfish desires. We spend years locking this monster in a dungeon, writing, "I am not like this," on its door. And then that person arrives, and one day, in a moment of conflict, in a moment of vulnerability, the door to that dungeon creaks open, and the monster emerges. That moment is the crucible of the relationship. In an ordinary relationship, both parties flee in fear. But in the right relationship, that person does not flee. They look at your monster not with disgust, but with curiosity, even compassion, because they recognize the monster within themselves, and your darkness holds a mirror to their own darkness. This signifies, I see this part of you too, and I am still here. This is the most liberating feeling in the world. This is someone loving you not despite yourself, but with yourself, meaning with all your parts. If the person in your life has drawn even closer to you after witnessing your most vulnerable, most flawed, most unappealing self, if you find the courage to drop that mask of perfection in their presence, know that this is a magic far more valuable, far more real than any fairy tale. This is a sign that two souls have begun to heal by taking refuge in each other's shadows. But this deep connection does not mean losing yourself. In fact, the third sign reveals a paradox. True love is found not in merging, but in the space between two whole individuals. Sign tree, the sacred union of separate paths. The third and most sagacious sign is the sacred union of two separate paths. Popular culture tells us that soulmates are like conjoined twins, doing everything together, unable to breathe without each other. While this may seem like a romantic notion, from Jung's perspective, it is a form of suffocation, a loss of self. It is the antithesis of the individuation journey. The healthiest sign life sends is this: the right person honors and supports your individuality, your solitude, your personal journey. They do not try to mold you into their image. They do not view your dreams as an extension of their own. They respect your power to exist without them, even encouraging it. As the poet Rilke said, it is two solitudes protecting, defining, and greeting each other. Imagine a scene: two colossal trees growing side by side in a forest. Their roots may touch deep within the soil, providing mutual support, but their trunks are separate. Each reaches toward the sky on its own, freely extending its branches, absorbing its own sunlight. Neither withers by remaining in the other's shadow. This is the right relationship. It is not two halves coming together to complete each other, but the choice of two already whole individuals to continue their journey together. If the person in your life supports you, having your own personal space, your own friends, your own hobbies, if they do not view your success as their own failure, but rather take joy in your flourishing, if, when you are with them, you can simultaneously experience the warmth of we and the freedom of I with Tho, know that this is love in its most mature, wisest, and most enduring form. With these three signs understood, we now arrive at the grand culmination, the alchemical process that reveals the ultimate purpose of such a profound connection, the ultimate goal, the journey of individuation. And finally, that great moment that synthesizes all these signs, that culmination, the moment of integration, the deepest secret behind the question of who the right person is now unveiled. The right person is not a magic wand that simplifies our lives, solves our problems, or rescues us. No, they are much, much more. The right person is our greatest catalyst for individuation. They are the companion who challenges us, provokes us, and holds space for us to become the heroes of our own stories. The relationship with them is not a destination, but an alchemical laboratory. In this laboratory, two souls undergo continuous transformation through fiery conflicts, compassionate acceptance, painful confrontations, and liberating distances. Lead, representing the rigid and dark states of the ego, transmutes into gold, representing the integrated and brilliant wisdom of the self. Do you understand now? The real issue is not finding the right person. The real issue is having the courage to enter this difficult but sacred alchemical process when you encounter that person. This is why life sends you these signs: a sacred discomfort, because you need to grow; a safe haven for your shadow, because you need to integrate; and respect for two separate paths, because you need to be free. These signs are not indications that the person is perfect, but that the journey with them is right and necessary. This journey, then, is not about finding someone else, but about finding yourself. This leads us to our final and most personal invitation. A final invitation, the wisdom of your heart. And now, as we reach the edge of this deep conversation, my intention is not to offer you a prescription. I wish to extend an invitation to return to the wisdom of your own heart. Stop searching for a savior outside yourself. Abandon the fantasy of someone coming to complete you. Instead, turn inward, confront your own shadow, embark on your own journey of individuation, break down your own walls, awaken your own dormant potentials. When you become a whole and complete being within yourself, the person you attract into your life will also be someone who reflects your wholeness, respects it, and can soar even higher with you. Then you will understand that the greatest love story is not about finding another, but about finding yourself more deeply through the presence of another. And this is a story far more real, far more powerful, and infinitely more beautiful than any fairy tale. If these words have resonated deep within your heart, let us make this space a testament to our own sacred journeys. In the comments section, share how you knew someone was a sign sent to you, not by popular culture standards, but by the true signals of your soul. What sacred discomforts did you experience? Which of your shadows did you make peace with? Let our stories be beacons for other souls, walking this challenging yet magnificent path. Your courage to be yourself is enough to attract the greatest love into your life. May your wholeness and your love endure.